All right, gang. So last session, our heroes made friends with one of the former inmates at Ravencroft, Fayette Fontaine, the Black Widow known as Theania. Dr. Druid recommended that they make haste in their quest to beat Lilith's half-brother Zachary to reclaim the shards of Nyx's heart. The Orphans convinced the Sorcerer Supreme, Wong, to transport them to the Australian outback in pursuit of the energy signature Druid had sensed in connection with Gilgamesh's tomb. There, they confronted the Eternal known as Thena, who was suffering from madweary, a disease that affects the brains of the aged Eternals. In a superheroic landing, Gilgamesh made his appearance at the end of the battle with Thena, and in speaking with the Orphans, accompanied them to his and Thena's home, feeding them a hearty lunch, while telling them the history of the Eternals and how he came to possess the night that was. After trading the stories, the heroes have pretty much convinced Gilgamesh to allow them access to his shard before Zachary can get his hands on it. And that's pretty much where we left off last session. Gilgamesh is tidied up and cleaned up after the hearty lunch, and he says to the group, if you all are ready to do this, I can make the arrangements.
What do you think, Colin?
Do we have a reason not to?
One not based in fear? No.
I mean, I've been shitting my pants for the past 3 weeks, so...
I can smell them. Keep that quiet, though.
Shh. Damn.
I mean, if we were talking about doing this back in the storage, it would have been we have to, or something bad would happen. Here, I just feel like we're asking for it. But I don't know what else to ask for. So just keep an eye on me.
Like I said, I will. This is your call. I can't make these decisions for you.
That makes two of us.
Dr. Cuddle, he'll make it for us.
Yeah. Make sure nothing goes wrong, Mr. Cuddlebear.
I will try it.
All right. She'll kind of just give a nod to Gilgamesh.
All right, then it's settled. We're going to have a bit of a journey ahead of us, but fortunately I have a friend that can get us there pretty fast. Give me a second, I'll text her. He whips out his phone, begins to text, and about 3 seconds after he presses send, a small woman of about 5'2" just appears at his side with a rush of air as the door to the cabin bursts open. She has light brown skin, long curly hair pulled back into a ponytail, and a reddish uniform that looks like the skin-tight armor that Gilgamesh wore when you saw him in the Outback. She gives him a big bear hug. Makari, it's always good to see you. Sorry it's been a while.
They text.
These are my new friends. And Makari kind of waves at the group with a little grin and turns back to Gilgamesh and begins to sign to him using some sort of sign language that you've not seen before. They have a silent conversation for a few minutes that seems to turn into a bit of an argument as Makari begins to shoot you all a few side eyes. Eventually, the two of them come to what appears to be a reluctant arrangement as Gilgamesh turns back to the group. Makari is willing to take us where we need to go, and Makari elbows him, and he looks at her, and she's got kind of a stern look on her face. Okay, maybe not willing, but she's going to cooperate nonetheless. Prepare yourselves. This may be a bit jarring. And with that, suddenly, each of you are grabbed in succession, one by one, and whisked away at hypersonic speed across the desert, over the ocean, to another desert that's much different from the one that you were just in. When you arrive, Gilgamesh is the last to be brought. And he says, "Welcome to Babylon, my friends. Or what's left of it. We are in modern-day Iraq. Beneath our feet here lie the remains of the once great city of Babylon, the most advanced city of its prime. Now, we don't want to cause too much of a scene here with the state of the world as it is today, so I'll be taking you through some tunnels to get where we are going. You know, Lilith, your father and the doctor here were not too far off when they discovered my tomb. I have to admit, I was surprised to know that someone had found it. But I learned many years ago from an old friend to always leave a decoy when you are wanting to protect something special. And with that, you all begin to descend into these tunnels through a small cave hidden beneath a pile of rocks on the side of a hill. The cave goes down for hundreds of feet until you hit what looks like a dead end. Gilgamesh reaches out with his hand, places it on the wall, and it alights with cosmic energy, producing more of the symbols that you are now becoming all too familiar with. With the touch of the palm of his hand, a hidden door slides open in the wall, and you now look into a small obsidian hallway that leads into a large room filled with artifacts from across the globe and a beautiful garden behind a wall of glass that holds plants from places far, far away. They don't look like they came from Earth. Gilgamesh says, "Welcome to the Domo, my friends. Very few mortals have ever set eyes on this place. The Domo is the ship that brought the Eternals to Earth 5,000 years ago. She was our home for many years, but now Makari here is her caretaker." Gilgamesh takes you guys into a separate chamber concealed within the walls of a ship. And it's another kind of wall that he places his hand on, and he kind of pulls back for a moment. And he says, "One of our brothers, Fastos, helped me create this chamber. He's a brilliant scientist and inventor and created this room to conceal the shard of the night that was for me. This is the first time in over 2,000 years I've opened it."
Okay.
Are you all ready?
Oh,
Do we know
Indeed.
what's gonna happen if I'm around it?
Your guess is as good as mine.
She'll take a step back.
I'll step in front of her.
He places his hand on the wall, and the wall slides open like it did, like the other one did when you came into the domo. And in this room, above a single obsidian pedestal that's maybe about 5 inches in a cylindrical form, there floats a small black chip shard held aloft by cosmic energy. And Lilith, you certainly can feel it.
Yeah.
And there is a definite urge to approach.
Does it? Can I? Is it a general feeling, or can I feel it maybe in the pendant that I have? Like, is it heating up, or do I feel like my chest hurting or being drawn to it through there?
You probably feel a coldness there in your chest.
That's on brand.
Shatter kind of reaches his hand in his pocket and he pulls out the glass that he's had for a while, and it starts to form in the air into kind of like a container with a bottom, a little bit with a bottom, and it's, maybe it would be best if nobody touches this.
Oh, duh.
All right, and so the glass starts to move kind of toward the shard, and as it kind of falls around the shard, then the other glass starts to form on the bottom to kind of encase it as I start to bring that forward to the group, so no one is touching it.
Okay. And then do you take the glass, or are you just letting it float?
Well, I'm using the control to just let it float with us. I don't even want to touch the glass it's in at this point.
Okay.
A little scared of it.
Lilith, you doing okay?
So far, so good.
You are not hearing any voices? Dix is not speaking out to you?
Nope, just yours.
Terrifying.
There is a definite urge. She's not speaking to you, but that is you're precious, and you would really like to have that.
Yeah, I'll. Lilith will look at Gilgamesh and kind of just do a, what now?
Well, at least it didn't immediately jump to you, which truthfully was a bit of a concern.
Good to know.
It's my understanding that it's your goal to put an end to this curse. But what does that mean for the rest of us, yes?
Well, I think we're going to find out what exactly this bloodline can do, I guess. I mean, my brother is looking for this. So whether we do this or he does it with the help of Amun-Ra, I mean, if I go nuts, this is the best place for me to go nuts.
These walls will contain you if that were to happen. So at least she would not be released onto the earth proper. But we would certainly have to shut the domo down.
That's a future you problem.
Oh,
You still wouldn't be at full power since there's only 2 of the 3, though.
Yeah. I just don't know if she's going to feel empowered to take over. I mean, I've lost control multiple times. What if that influence is just going to get stronger?
So you see the map that I've pulled up here while you guys have been discussing this, and you're in a very, very tight little area here in this corridor.
You're breathing on me.
The area that had the little garden and the collection is the larger area off to the right over there.
Okay.
So you guys have got a little bit more room to move if you would like to.
Give me 1 second here. I completely forgot to log into Foundry.
No, okay.
I got Zoom pulled up and forgot
That this is where the shard is in this area.
Yeah, right where Nyx is standing. That's where the tiny little room was. Definitely looks like a room that should not be there.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the plan? Do I try and communicate with it? Do I grab it? What do we, and are you going to create a super circle or something? Or I don't, like, where do I go with this? I'm kind of leaving it up to you, Doc. As she kind of says to both Gilgamesh and Dr. Druid, or whatever his name is.
I believe that what Gilgamesh says is true. I see along the walls many of the protective sigils that your father and I used. And if she were to get loose in here, then I believe we can take him at his word that she would be contained, but we may ourselves be trapped in here with her.
So maybe you should be outside the room so that if she takes over the rec room, you kind of just lock it down and, I don't know, she'll just sit there and stew on it for thousands of years.
I don't think it will come to that.
Not leaving you in here alone.
She slaps herself. Just, okay.
Gilgamesh, the doctor addresses him. You feel that this room is the strongest containment area for the shard. Is that what I am to assume? And he says, Gilgamesh responds, yes. Okay, give me 1 second here. I can't spell and type at the same time, or and speak
That's
at
a
the same
horrible combo.
time. There we go. Okay. So Gilgamesh answers, yes, we built it to contain not only the shard, but perhaps Nyx herself, if the time should arise that we would need to. So perhaps if we do this, it might be best that she open it here then. I can conduct a containment spell on you, Lilith, in order to help perhaps keep you from attacking the rest of us if that were to come to pass, if she were to take possession of you. Would you be willing to let me do so? Oh, you're muted, I think.
I suppose so, as long as it doesn't interfere with Gilgamesh's other mumbo jumbo. And we're probably going to want a safe word so that we know everything's okay, because
Cumberbatch.
Well, then perhaps we should take positions. I'll need to be fairly close to conduct the spell.
I just imagine us all in a really like hallway, kind of like shuffling around.
Right? Yeah.
Move over there. All right.
Let's get in our super circle, guys.
Sorry.
This thing's still encased in the glass in the middle. Where am I sending it to her with the containment spell around her?
Yeah, probably so. He hasn't brought the containment spell up just yet, so.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Somebody was saying something?
Oh, no.
Okay. Gilgamesh and Thena take spots here right at the corners so they can kind of be at the ready to move in if need be. Dr. Druid is going to step in front of the doorway to cast the spell. Makari kind of hangs out on the opposite side so that she can make a run at it if she needs to. But as I said, this is very tight quarters here. Really, only one or two people can move down this hallway.
So I'll kind of slide, say to Dr. Druid, hey, Doc, trade places with me real quick.
Right.
I'll get a little bit closer with him now. All right, now this thing is between me and Nyx with the glass around it. We're ready to go when you are.
All right, I'm gonna have to move him on top of you.
Oh my!
Tight quarters. Okay, so
you steaming up my glass, Doc.
The doc begins to weave a spell, and let's see here.
Huh?
Oh, that did not go well.
No, it did not.
Okay.
At least it wasn't a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All hope is not lost.
And you do see some magical energies that
Just
that
96%
form underneath and around Lilith.
Other hole, Sean.
Choking on water.
Lilith, are you ready? Okay, and the glass container starts to...
Should I should I ink up? Or should I just wait? She looks at Gilgamesh.
I don't know how your powers work. Druid says perhaps it is best that you stay in your human form.
All right.
I bring the suit up.
Okay. All right, so you got the glass globe sitting
and
in
it
front of you.
starts to move in front of her and stops, and then as she's kind of looking at it, the glass starts to break just little by little, spiders, and then just and I bring all the shattered pieces back to me into my hand pocket. Okay. Now it's out.
All right.
She starts flipping around like the Exorcist on the bed.
At that point, when it breaks, it begins to drop.
Maya or Lilith's gonna shoot like a pseudopod out to catch it.
Okay. All right. So you've got it. And you can feel that cold now kind of rushing up the tendril into your arm.
So just bring it closer to her. And as it gets closer, she just, oh, and she reaches in her back pocket and pulls out her cell phone and slides it on the ground.
All right, so you bring it a little bit closer to you. And now you feel that urge within you to touch it. And at this point, I'm going to have you make a psyche feat if you don't wish to actually grab it.
What we're supposed to do. I'll grab it.
You're going to grab it?
Yeah.
Okay. You reach out, grab hold of it, and it is beyond ice cold. It almost burns you when you touch it, and you kind of wince a little bit. And when you do that, you actually grab it even tighter, and it then begins to merge into your palm, and then begins to actually work its way under your flesh and up your arm, and it's just crawling basically up to that spot in your chest to join with the other shard.
Gilgamesh, is that normal?
I don't know. It's my first time seeing it myself.
Colin, I don't remember this. I don't remember this at all.
Are you okay?
It hurts.
I think that's relative at this point.
When it gets to the shard, the entire chamber just goes black. Dr. Druid is thrown backwards into probably Shatter and Spider Wasp. You guys aren't going to take any damage from that, but I mean it's kind of bowling pins. So both of you might want to make an agility feat.
Can I web the walls? Use the webs against the walls to hold ourselves.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Do I still need to make that agility feat then?
Yeah, probably just to stay up.
Okay, karma.
Yeah, keep it a yellow.
Get to a green.
All right. So it does back you up just a square. The two of you guys. I'll keep Druid right there since that's kind of the pecking order. But you're able to hold in place. And you see this dark energy now beginning to swirl in that chamber.
I go into phase.
Okay.
Just to be on the safe side.
When the darkness subsides, you see the figure that you've kind of become familiar with of Lilith inked up in the black kind of oily substance and standing there in the chamber and breathing heavily. But you notice that she's a little bit taller. She's 8 feet tall, and the black darkness that is dripping off of her seems to be even more sinuous and gooey. And she looks up at you guys, and her eyes flash a deep, dark blue. And Lilith, your basic stats, FASE, now are bumped up 1 level.
Damn.
As are all of your powers. Now, depending on what happens, this may or may not be temporary, so don't make a permanent change. But you basically have a 1 column shift on just about everything. Your psyche, however, jumps up to monstrous.
Damn.
That warms my cockles.
Now
for the FASE,
yeah,
those are just when I'm inked up, though, not
just when you're inked up, right? Yeah. So now what you need to do, using your base psyche of incredible, is I need you to roll a psyche feat.
Karma.
Definitely.
47 green.
Okay.
Okay. I'll put in 50 to make it a 97, which is red.
Yeah, you can't. You can only go up. You can only go up one color.
That's how long I haven't played this game.
Yeah.
I guess
What,
I'll go ahead
2
and
weeks?
make it. Yes. I'll bump it up to 80.
All right. So you are able to wrest control for at least a moment, and you're like, and the blue lights that light her eyes kind of flash away and become the white that you guys have been kind of familiar with. And Lilith says, I think I'm fine. And then the blue suddenly comes back. And then another voice comes out of her, and she says, no, she's more than fine. She's mine. And Sean, you take control of the character now, but she's Nyx at the moment.
Awesome.
And you can react however you feel like she needs to react to this situation.
Do I have control over the physical body?
Yeah, Nyx does. Nyx has complete control over her.
Nyx does.
Mm-hmm. Nyx the god.
Yeah. So
Uber's like, all right, now let's not be too hasty.
Lilith is in the back seat.
yeah. Lilith sees this and see if my clip guard works. Ah! That didn't sound normal.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Cool.
good.
All right. Yeah. So she screams as if she's in a night terror.
All right, what's the rest of the group doing?
I'm kind of reaching out telepathically to speak with after she says, she's mine, to try to speak to Lilith, be like, hey, are you in there still? Are you okay?
Yes. You make that roll.
I will call Karma for that. Which is a good thing, because 11 is not great. I'll spend to make it green. Should be like 30 total.
And your power rank is what?
Incredible.
Okay. So Lilith, with your incredible psyche, you're going to roll psyche to be able to respond.
Karma.
And all you need is a green. So if you take it up to a green, you should be able to respond.
So I need a 31. So 20, 12? So 12 points of karma.
Mm-hmm.
What? Just wake up. And it's just, she keeps repeating it.
We are still here. We are here for you. Try to remain calm and try if you can to regain some sort of control.
Control of what?
Yourself.
What is going on? Wake up.
Okay.
You know that she is driving at this point for sure.
Spider Wasp is going to ceiling crawl over everybody
Mm-hmm.
and dangle down upside down in front of Nyx.
Mm-hmm.
Lilith. Retract the mask. So, I guess you're Nyx now.
Who the fuck is next? Who is this guy? As she's thinking to herself, because she can't speak, yes?
Right. Yeah. Well, she's not speaking through her at this point. No.
Yeah.
And that, what you and I talked about, has not actually happened yet. You're still You're still there. So you will need to respond as
Got
Nix.
it. As Nix.
Nix. Mhm. Yeah.
I wish I had my voice set up for this. Yes. And you are little Colin. Little Colin.
So
Just sort of step a little bit closer as she leans in and kind of leans down. Like you're hanging from the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
Right at face. So she's leaning right into you. But it's only the head is extending and the neck right into your face. Your
And-
body is still standing there.
And the doctor says, Colin, I don't have her. Be careful.
So yeah, that's not creepy there, Nix. We mean you absolutely no harm. We're actually, I guess, trying to help. Not that you need help,
Sure.
but
Help me. And the tongue rolls out and turns into a finger and just goes shh, and kind of attempts to touch Colin on his lips.
you'll bobble back.
Now-
And
now,
then the finger
hold
gets
on.
longer and longer
Yeah.
as it reaches towards him.
Is it her intent to hurt him?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Cuddlebear will trot up and he'll say, as you can see, we are holding up our end of our bargain. We are helping you become more yourself, but you must uphold your part of this bargain as well, and make sure that the host remains safe and unharmed.
The finger retracts and rolls up like a Fruit Loop. And she looks over and kind of, as the head shrinks back onto the body, the ink starts to slowly kind of go away, but it stays in her eyes, and you can see the veins. And all of her veins that are kind of just under the surface are now dark tinted and black. Fingernails are still occasionally dripping, and she'll like lick the black off the fingers or anything that she sees dripping. And she says, yes. Is this better for you? Does everybody know the bargain?
Yes, we are all on the same page.
I don't think everybody's on the same page. And she kind of glares over at Gilgamesh and Thena.
Thena has her blades out.
Always jumping to conclusions, Thena.
We are all just in new territory and rightfully cautious.
And where might that territory be, little one?
Well, we are not all used to dealing with you so directly as now.
I don't feel free.
There is still a shard that remains missing.
And is it here?
We do not know. But as I have said, we are making progress. We just need to ensure the safety of Lilith. She seems that she is mentally in distress. It would be a show of good faith if you would relinquish control back into her.
You know I can eat you, right?
I am aware.
We also know if you relinquish control, you can take it back at any time.
Yes,
So you're not losing anything.
that is also true.
Shh. Cat. Proof of life. Yes?
Yes.
Next the eyes will go light, but not clear, but like frosted. And she will call Lilith from inside. Showtime, little one. Do your best. And we'll let Lilith have control of the face and everything else.
Okay.
Not everything else, but the face and vocals and eyes and things like that. But you'll have a constant sense of drowning, if that makes sense.
Like just treading water. Or actual, like, you know.
Oh, yeah, drowning. Yeah. I'm okay. Again, relative. But she's going to kind of think to you, like, I have no way to control this. So you better be right. And then she'll speak and says, Colin, you all right?
No.
It's appropriate.
Are you?
Scared?
Me too.
So what? And then she gets yanked back. And Nix comes back out and says, okay. She's just fine. What's the next step?
Shatter speaks up. You tell us. You have our friend, and that's all we're concerned about right now.
Can you sense the location of the missing shard?
She'll raise the platform underneath Dr. Druid to raise him more towards, as she, like, her eye level. She's still, when she inks up, she's 8 feet, right?
Yep.
And so, yeah, she's fully inked now as she regains control, and she's going to move Dr. Druid on a pedestal platform, moving towards her, and says, you found it. You thought you found it. Where might these be? And where is this wonderful boy you had?
That's your ultimate goal, isn't it? To rejoin with Amun-Ra, the lover that you left behind.
It's a bonus. I just want what was rightfully mine, what was wrongfully taken from me.
At what cost?
For who?
For all of us.
You and I are not the same. We are not an us. I am me.
Then for my kind. You speak of a war between gods. Where does humanity fall in this?
Everywhere.
You promised humanity's safety.
If I can control. You don't know the people that I walk with and why they put me here.
So why did they put you there?
You have to ask them.
You have to have some idea.
Yes. I think I know where it is. And Nyx will drop the druid, Dr. Druid, onto the ground, and she will kind of, as like a liquid eel, sort of move on the ceiling, going towards this area.
Okay.
So down the hallway, she's gonna probably have to fly over Makari.
Okay.
I'm on that ceiling, going as fast as I can, following her.
Mm-hmm. And she'll do a stiff arm of some sort, maybe, if he gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
But she's super, like, liquid. She doesn't seem to have to take on the same mass.
Okay.
As Lilith.
Makari runs into the chamber ahead of Nyx to cut her off at the pass.
Okay.
So if you want to move Nyx where you want her.
Oh, I have to.
Yeah, you'll probably have to climb over everybody.
Oh, yeah, I can't go through the walls.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so moving at remarkable speed, that's,
Mhm.
How far could I get, or could Nyx get?
Well, you could easily get into that room, no problem.
Sweet. God damn it. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. You could use the arrows. Okay. never
And
mind.
how close can I keep up with her?
You'll be a decent amount behind her for sure. What do you do once you get in there, Nyx?
When she enters the room, does that room have the glyphs and ruins, or what did the hallway area that we were in?
Everything has the
Everything
glyphs and
has it.
ruins. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She'll stop as she sees Makari like bolt in front of her,
Mm-hmm.
and she'll form to just a normal 5'6" person. Shrinks down, and you can see that she's sort of just looking around as if it's the first time she's noticed it's everywhere, and there's not a way out. And Nyx will then start floating around the room and using, and on her, like her hands are grazing and touching all the tactile, like the ruins and everything else, and seeing how they react.
Okay. As you do that, they begin to light up in kind of a gold kind of color, which causes her a bit of distress. It doesn't do any damage, but I mean, she can feel the energy that's there, and she knows that this is a prison.
I knew it. Where are you, cat?
And as you guys can probably enter the room at this point, since she has kind of slowed down at least a little bit.
She immediately flies or floats right over to Cuddle Bear. And it's just like, this was never a part of any agreement whatsoever.
Nor was you taking complete control over the host. We are in the process of working through a solution to the problem. You regaining this portion of yourself and this degree of power is just a step along this road. But you need to assure us that humanity will be safe and that you will control your desire for vengeance and focus your anger only on those deserving of it. There must be no collateral damage.
You're quickly becoming the number one on that list. No more surprises.
I'll just kind of chuckle. You should know that no one can guarantee there are no surprises.
Then you understand where I'm coming from right now, then.
Yes.
I can't guarantee that only another third of my being would allow me to control. I had no idea. You should know that.
As I said, we are all at new territory here. Just try to maintain calm.
Did you just tell me to calm down?
Yes.
And she'll reach out with a third appendage coming from her abdomen to grab onto Cuddle Bear.
I've been on the ceiling. I'll shoot a spider. I'll shoot a web down at him and pull him up.
I'm still in phase.
How are you? Well, I'll
Yeah.
do it anyway.
Yeah, so how does the phase work with energy? Because this is dark energy, it's not solidified right now.
Mm-hmm.
What's the rank, I suppose, is what it would matter.
I guess this would be monstrous.
Yep.
And I will feel that, because my phasing is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
My phasing is amazing.
Amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so then that means that Spider Wasp, you didn't know he was in phase, so you actually did shoot the web, yes?
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
So Sean, as Nyx, make a roll on an attack for slam or trying to grapple Cuddle Bear, and then Clint, you'll roll for the webbing.
Okay. So we got a grappling, not a grabbing.
It's the same.
Yeah, they're both strength.
And this is my new strength.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
24. I miss.
Yeah. Okay.
See, I'm trying not to kill you.
And I'll take mine up to yellow.
Okay. All right. So you reach down to try to grab the cat, and are hit with a spider web, and your arm gets pulled back ever so slightly, and you see, spider wasp up on the ceiling that is tugging on your arm.
None of that.
But he's just so frustrating.
Oh, trust me. I know. But none of that.
It'll dissipate into smoke. Fine.
For web dissolves. Drops whatever it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what do you want? I'm
now
stuck
we
here, obviously.
We must come up with a plan.
Bend them to my will.
That is not a plan.
Worked before.
Obviously, it got you stuck here.
She side eyes as the whole eye kind of moves to the side and looks in Colin's direction.
Am I wrong?
The whole thing dissipates, the ink. And she still has the black eyes and some veins, but not as prevalent. Fine. So, can we even get out of here? Or are we just sit here and talk and then rip my heart out again?
Good question.
This is why we must have a plan. We need to somehow reach these Olympians, because that is our only lead to the final shard.
Yeah. How do we do that? Gilgamesh? Nix? Gilgamesh? Any ideas?
Would Nyx even have a thought on that? Like, I went to their house, but it's been so long they could
It's
have
been
moved.
a long time.
He could have moved.
The pantheon of the gods would be about the only place to go. Obviously, they're probably going to have, it's going to be very difficult to get there and probably have defenses specifically set up for Nyx.
But so Nyx would know, though,
She would probably know
how to get there. Okay.
Maybe not how to get there, at least,
But that it exists, and that's
it exists,
a good
and
place to.
Mhm.
Okay. Would So would Nyx have any understanding about her heart and how, or is she sort of, this is the first time they've ever been combined, and she has never had an understanding of what happened to her so much as, other than with the avatar? Like, I'm trying to figure out what she would know.
Yeah, no, I
Living
think,
in Marcus for so long,
Mhm.
and him trying to find these things where she
Mhm.
might have picked up on it, and if it's in her best interest to assist everybody to find the third shard, so that's why she's sort of, is there a way?
Her personality, her essence has been split between all three of those
Mhm.
shards. Okay.
Mhm.
And you are
Hopefully
aware,
the third shard's the nice part.
you're aware of the third shard being out there somewhere. But you were not able to sense where this one was because of the protective cosmic energy that was shielding it. You knew it existed, you knew it was there, you were present within it. And a part of you is still present within the third shard as well. But you cannot sense where that is either. But that one seems even more distant than this one was prior to Lilith coming into contact with it.
Okay.
Now, what the other thing that you do know is that your children are also trapped with you. And bringing the shards together would reunite your family.
Wonderful. Huge incentive. And I hope I wasn't the only one when he said somewhere out there that did not think of Fievel. I immediately thought of the song and almost cried. Okay, so is this like a rec room kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of.
Is there a place to sit?
It's like a control room, yes, there's plenty of places to sit. It's filled with antiques from across the globe, so you've probably even got an old throne of Louis the Fifth sitting there. Yeah.
Okay, well, since we're all in this together, here's the deal. I'm out there, but I can't sense myself. So I'm pretty sure that whatever this is, as she points around to the ruins and it must be behind something similar. And I'm not alone. My family's there.
Family?
Yeah. I wasn't the only one that got split apart.
Your children.
Yes, that's what I said.
So do you think
So
it's
where
just
could that
this,
be?
Do you think it's just this place shielding it?
I don't know.
Or
A place that it might be in another place that has similar shielding.
She looks immediately over at Gilgamesh. And is like, so, got another ship? Got someone else with the other piece? Because it's, I know it's out there. Just like I knew this was out here, but I didn't know where. So I would imagine it's on the same plane.
When this shard was entrusted to me, I was not told of the location of the other two. And
Quick, cat! Is he lying?
after 3,000 years, I still do not know.
who entrusted you with the shard?
Zeus.
Yeah,
That guy.
this is all his fault.
It always is.
That's why I was like, our best bet, our best clue is like, trying to talk to one of the Olympians. I don't know if we would be able to reach Zeus himself, or if that would even be a good idea to far.
Not with her tagging along.
No.
Right.
We don't get along very well.
But we would need someone who would have intimate knowledge of his dealings. Perhaps one of his children.
My god contacts are fairly limited.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of those, so Nyx's god contacts. Is she aware of the world as it went along without her? Or was she only sort of, encapsulated with the avatar and the vessel? And that was it.
Yeah, the only time that you're maybe tangentially aware of how history has progressed without you. In the moments that you were brought forth by the human avatar.
Yeah.
Okay. So you would see glimpses of time, but to you, it would pass like that. All of a sudden, it would be 50 years later and 75 years later, or maybe, if there was a generation or two that didn't call upon her powers ever and just kind of kept her contained, then you went, 200 years without contact. So yeah, you've been, but you have a little bit of an inkling of a timeline of how things have gone. So you have seen through the eyes of your avatars over the years.
Okay, so I guess the hang up that I'm having is she's ancient, and I believe it would be before the Olympians and Titans.
Yes.
So would she know about these things? Like, am I playing this wrong? Where she knows who these people are?
She certainly knows who the Olympians are. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were the ones. Zeus was the one that actually broke the heart into 3 pieces and sent them where they went. And the history with them is they believed you initially to be one of their kind, but they quickly found that you were not, and ostracized you from their society. You were always on the outskirts and never really allowed to be a part of the royal family of the Olympians. You were seen as a stepchild. But
arrogant little fuckers.
But you are essentially older than all of them.
That's what I was saying. Like, disrespectful. All right. Okay. I just wanted to know how self-aware she was about what happened and all that. So yeah, I would say that she's getting across as eager now, but she's like, okay, well, this is the situation and I don't know how to get there. I don't know where they are. But if we have to go and find them, would she know about any connections, like maybe Hades or Hercules or someone that might have reached out or been around her from before that maybe has a sympathetic eye?
Probably Hercules, yes. But maybe not. Well,
and would Apollo be?
Hercules would have been in the whole grand scheme of things very young when she was cast out, and probably he himself actually physically a child when that happened. But he too, is seen as a half god. So if anybody would maybe have some sympathy, possibly Hercules might.
Like the new gods of some sort, aren't they? Okay. That is all I know. Can we identify and track things like this? And she kind of points around. Can't be too many places like this, right? Just from a technology standpoint alone.
Does this give off like a particular energy signature?
That's what I was thinking. See, the cat gets me.
Does the stone give off a particular energy signature, or the dome?
The stones and well, both, anything. But I was thinking more about the ruins and stuff. Is that what you were thinking about, Cuddles?
Yes.
Okay, so the runes, yes, they definitely have a cosmic signature. Now, from the exterior, Druid was not able to detect this place. So
if they gave us any signature that U.S. military, any military satellites would be able to see, this place would have been found by now.
Right. I think the nature of the ruins are that, like, just to hide it from any sort of detection. That's why we would need we would need to, shorten our parameters for looking. We need to know an area, a ballpark.
Karen,
yes, Colin.
Is this ship giving off any distinct signature? Any distinct? I don't even know what I'm looking for. Can anything see this damn thing, Karen?
It is essentially invisible to any outside detection, if that's what you're asking.
What about radio frequencies?
Whatever this metal it is made out of does not register any sort of magnetic frequency, radio frequency, any type of recognizable energy pattern.
So
Oh.
does it show up as just nothing, as if everything's normal, or does it show up as void?
I can show you a satellite image if that would help.
I mean, visually, I don't think we're going to see anything, are we?
No.
Okay, so.
And Gilgamesh says, we were pretty thorough in making sure that this would not be found.
Okay, so who else do we know that might
Who
have
else?
any inkling into the habits of gods?
Okay. So one shard was given to Gilgamesh. The original shard was given to a family that, we don't know Lilith's history or anything like that to caretake of. Correct?
Hmm.
So who would they've given the third shard to? Besides the gods.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of where I'm going. We need to figure out like somebody who would have any kind of better idea into like the motivations of Zeus himself, who could basically think similar to him and give an idea as to where he would hide this third piece, or if he would have kept it on his person, which I feel like that's unlikely. But
Nyx, you said that you've basically taken Lilith's form at this point and have kind of pulled back the black veins. They're not as visible. As you guys have been discussing this, you do notice those veins now starting to blacken once again. And it gets to a certain point, Nyx, where she begins to feel that. And she becomes aware of it. And you're not really quite sure what's happening. The darkness is now beginning to well up inside of you, and it does not seem to be fully under your control.
Yeah, I was wondering if Nyx might have ever experienced this before with the host, where after a certain amount of time, it's there seems to always, even with Lilith, like there's a certain, after a while, they kind of de-ink or like push it in the background because of the threat of losing control, but also pain and the suffering that kind of comes with it.
Yeah, she's certainly aware of that, but this is almost the exact opposite.
Yeah, I was just thinking of burning through the host. It doesn't do her any good.
Right. And what seems to be happening now is the body that you're in begins to seize and jerk, and she drops to the ground and begins to have a seizure. Nyx feels this just as intensely as Lilith does, and she begins to buck in place and foaming at the mouth.
Can you use your ability to ease her seizures?
Did you say that too?
Colin.
Oh.
Because he has that neuro manipulation thing.
Yeah. I will do the. I guess I almost have to cast paralysis on her.
Well, I wasn't sure the nature of your ability. I figured if you can give seizures, you could probably take them away.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It's something like that. I'll drop down. Lilith, you okay?
And she is not able to respond.
Okay.
I will try it telepathically. Are you all right? What is happening to you?
Do either of I hear that?
You can hear it, but also the brain is firing,
Okay.
and you get snippets of what he's saying, but not everything is computing right now.
I was just gonna think: is she going through the levels of the dark energy poison in some way?
Yeah, maybe in some way. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nyx will retract to the background and says, and she'll basically sort of relinquish control back to Lilith.
Okay.
And as she does, she'll kind of just have a cacophony of voices telling her how weak she is.
Mm-hmm.
Inappropriate that she is the vessel. And then we'll slink into the background as all the, the screeching from the movie Ghost, they'll come and then they disappear. And they're just silent now. And Lilith is still probably extremely cold or whatever that effect is, but feels detached, I suppose, from Nyx going away.
All right. With that pulling back, she juts up, sits straight up, and just lets out a piercing scream and passes out.
Grab her, hold her in my arms,
No.
and kind of, Lilith.
And a few
Check
minutes.
her pulse. Check her pulse.
Her pulse is racing. And all of a sudden, she wakes up. And Lilith.
Beavers and ducks. What?
This is.
I love the movie Bandits, so it's just one of the.
This is
Anyway.
now what we talk
Got it,
about.
got it.
You wake up.
Yeah. Looks like from it's flop sweat and just like night sweats, and she's pouring down, and she's kind of just sitting there. She's like, Uncle Tony? And then she sort of looks around and slowly gets up. And as she kind of looks up, what's going on here? She kind of looks around.
Are you okay? Is it you?
Fine. Who are you?
What do you mean, who am I?
Yeah, I mean, who are you? Where are we?
I'm Colin.
She will immediately back up from everybody as if she's like walking to keep the wall to her back. And she's looking like a caged or cornered animal as she's darting around looking. And she's looking over and kind of can't stop staring at Dr. Druid as she sort of like makes her way over and she starts yelling
Shit.
and kind of just very looks shocked about what is where she is, what's going on around her.
I'm down, Lilith.
Lilith, I'm Colin.
Who's that? What? Okay.
I'm Colin.
And the rest of this saga?
You're Lilith, correct?
Yes. How do you know my name?
You don't know how you got here?
No, that's why I'm screaming and asking where I am.
Okay.
Okay.
What is the last
Uncle-
thing?
Calm down.
No,
We're
no,
gonna
all
try
of
to
you
help
shut
you.
up. Shut up.
What is the last
Uncle.
thing?
What's going on here?
Lilith, it's all right. We're here. What's wrong? What happened?
What happened is I was doing rubbings of artifacts for my father because you two are supposed to be overseas. I was listening to translating some of the language on a headset and I fell asleep. I woke up here. Why are you here? Where is here?
Oh boy.
Harak.
Well, that's not right.
You don't. What day is it?
And you give the date. It's the same day.
Thought so.
It's today?
Yep.
Oh.
So you don't remember the last 3 weeks?
I remember the last 3 weeks. You don't remember my last 3 weeks. I was home. I was in New York.
Is this some
I was
trick
doing
Nyx is
this,
playing?
and here we are. And all of these, and she finally, for the first time, sort of sees some of the ruins and the markings along the wall. Is this familiar?
Not even remotely.
Okay. She's kind of looking around, but it seems to be a pattern, which is what.
Mr. Cuddlebear, is this some trick Nyx is playing?
I will attempt to telepathically speak with the entity of Nyx. And I will call Carla for that.
Okay.
Oh, 83. Like, that's deep yellow. 1193. Incredible. That's red.
You sense her presence, but she cannot speak.
Okay. I'm going to try to get Lilith to remember.
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna call Carla from that too. Yeah. I'm just like, let me help you try to remember the past few weeks.
And you have a cat speaking in your mind right now.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Does she have a mental image of a cat, or is it just the voice?
It's just the voice. Yeah.
So she wouldn't even associate it with the cat at this point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Probably not.
Well, I would be standing kind of next to you.
Still wouldn't associate it with the cat. I don't.
Right.
I don't think the voices in my head are coming from my cats.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I know they're mine.
62, dude. Becomes a 72. That's deep yellow. Yes, fuck it. Let's make it red.
Okay. All right. So what are you're trying to get her to remember? How are you trying to do that?
As she's kind of in a panic and she's trying to race around and put like the pieces together from what her last moment was to this current moment.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to basically kind of really try to tap into her subconscious to pull some of the memories back from where they are.
Okay. Now, with your telepathy, I mean, you're able to read surface thoughts and so forth with that as well, correct?
Sure.
I mean, you go in, you try to kind of jog her memory, essentially.
Yeah, I'm using my inception ability. That's
yeah.
what I'm.
Oh, okay, all right. But but you do have telepathy as well.
Right. It's kind of like I guess conjunction.
Okay. So you're using that ability to try to jog her memory, and when you go in there to try to do that, you see flashes of her recent past. And it does not match up at all to the last month or so that you guys have been together.
Like, oh wait, so like there's memory of this the time period in between where we met and now that isn't the memories of what actually happened.
That is correct.
Oh. Well, that's interesting.
You see a pretty happy-go-lucky teenager, 17 years old, that is on a dig site with her father and her mother.
Does she still have the amulet on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, and it's still the Lilith that you physically, the Lilith that you guys know, without a doubt. That hasn't changed at all. But what's up here, it's not, from your perspective, is not the same as what you believe should be there.
Mm. Well, I watched the crossover episode, so I know what's going on. Or I
haven't watched it yet, so I don't.
So I'm pretty sure I know what's going on, but game-wise, I will link the group in this thought. Something strange has occurred, which, given our usual state of affairs, is saying something. But her memories of our time together are no longer there. She has a distinct set of different memories for the past few weeks.
Somebody tell me who's talking in my head and what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm very rude, and I'll kind of like paw at her leg. I am Mr. Cuddle Bear.
No shit.
No shit.
Aw.
We are here. We have been trying to help you in your unique circumstances, but this is a new development. You have seemed to not only have lost the memories of the past few weeks, you have gained entirely new memories altogether.
Does she know about the blip?
What is the state of humanity from your last did you recall?
I've never seen a cat like you talk before.
Please try to focus. Was everyone alive and well last you recall?
Last I recall, yes. Uncle, what's all this about?
I don't know, and you've never called me uncle before. As a matter of fact, the last time I saw you, you were 6 years old.
She steps back and says, well, clearly, and she looks down and kind of just does a second take. Why are my hands old?
We've got a lot to tell you, I think. And
What
you're not gonna
have you
believe
done to me?
And you're not going to believe any of it. And it was, we didn't do anything to you. You were like this when we met.
It's definitely not like this. Uncle, where's mom and dad?
Oh,
You're supposed to be with them. Where are they?
oh.
Mr. Cuddle Bear.
Yes.
I don't believe this is our Lilith.
I kind of give her a really good sniff over and everything. Smells like our Lilith, right?
Do I have a phone signal?
Yeah, you do. Very, very, very strong. They've got like 6G down here.
I was going to say,
Awesome.
I wanted to know his service.
I'm calling Wong.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get to that phone call here in a moment.
Okay.
If she is not our Lilith, who is she?
I don't know, but you're telling us that her memories are not the same, and she's recalling things that do not seem to be right.
Look, our
Hey,
lives have been nothing short of far-fetched the last couple weeks. Doctor, is there Is there any possibility that this is a, I don't know what you call it, a clone or somebody from another, I don't know, time stream, timeline? Who is this?
When she was having her seizure, was there anything like visually off about that? Like,
Well, aside from the darkness and these ghosts and all that sort of stuff kind of swirling around her, no, that all seemed pretty normal.
okay, all right, well, that all checks out.
No,
as
it was-
normal as it can get.
Screaming.
It was
She didn't
all
like-
pretty weird. Yeah.
There wasn't any sort of like fading in or out or anything, or like when he does his
You did maybe see a moment in there where she did regress in age, to her 17-year-old self.
I forget. Does she have the necklace on?
She does, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll look at her. Lilith, where'd you get that necklace?
You've never seen that before.
She'll look down and be like, I don't know where the jewelry came from. I also don't know where the shirt came from, where the shorts came from, or where the old hands came from. Uncle, you're stalling.
I'm just trying to figure this out, my dear.
Shatter. Can you create a mirror?
He nods knowingly and then pulls the glass
Lilith?
pieces back out of the pocket, kind of, or forms
This
them back
is-
into like a square, so they're
Rob,
shaped.
this is probably going to freak you out.
And as Colin says that, the mirror starts
ahead,
to float
Shadow.
over to Lilith and pops up
Yeah.
in front of her face.
And you see the face of what looks to be your mother looking
Yeah.
back at you.
She'll take a jumping step towards Mom, and as she does that, she sees her mother say the same words back at her, as if it's it's not her, it's a mirror. And then she'll stop, and I don't know if I can do this, but I'm gonna try. A black dark energy bolt shoots at the glass and shatters it as she falls to the ground,
Okay.
like trying to scoot away from it.
Roll a psyche for me.
Old Psyche,
Yep.
good old site.
6 to 2, yellow.
Okay. Yeah. And it shatters.
Sorry, Shatter, but it is your namesake. So.
Well, she still can do that.
She
kidding.
immediately freaks out and
I
starts.
told you
doing
it was
almost
going to
a
freak you
hyperven-
out. I told you it was going to freak you out.
She's more freaked out about the giant black bolt that came from her and shattered the glass than it was. I mean, yes, she's kind of just generally freaked out. It's probably a good.
I kind of trot up to you again. Try to maintain calm. Breathe deeply and slowly.
She exhales and some black smoke kind of comes out as she does that. It's like, not helping, not helping.
Nope.
And Colin, from your phone, you hear, hello? Hello? Anyone there?
Mr. Wong?
Yes.
Got a question for you.
I don't like your tone.
I've got a theory about something, and I think you're possibly the only person that might be able to help us on this. If there was somebody from a different, well, first of all, are there different dimensions?
Of
Is that-
course. Yes.
Okay, I thought so. I thought I heard you talk about that. If somebody was from another dimension, would you be able to tell?
That's a bit of an ask. But first, let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Is this darkness outside something that was caused by something you did?
Darkness outside.
Darkness outside? Wait, hold on, let me put you on speakerphone. Darkness outside, you say?
Yes.
We're not outside right now. We're kind of underground in a rack.
I've become immediately alarmed about that, and I kind of head towards any kind of window. and then face, or I basically head outside.
All right, yeah, there's definitely no windows, so you have to kind of phase up to get back up to ground level.
Well, how long ago did this darkness start?
Just a little while ago. Well,
Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour?
Roughly about 10, 15 minutes ago, yes.
Jeez.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that could have been us.
Yeah. But yeah, heading straight.
Can you like hone in on my sick? Do you know where I am?
You hear him bring his hand up to his face. No, I cannot sense you.
Okay.
And Gilgamesh is
Yeah.
like, that would be our defenses.
Well, at least we know he couldn't tell it. Well, we kind of gave Nyx one of the other shards.
You did what now?
Seemed like a good idea at the time. We gave Nyx one of the shards, and Nyx took over Lilith for a while, and we kind of had things in control, but then something really weird happened. And now Nyx isn't in Lilith's body anymore.
She's not in her body? No, she is. Yeah, that.
We
Yeah.
can't really. Well, but it's Lilith isn't Lilith. Lilith doesn't have any memory. Her memories are wrong.
Help! Help! I'm being kidnapped!
See what I mean?
You're going to have to bring her to me. I can't come to you. I don't know where you are.
Okay, yeah, we can probably do that. We've got somebody that can probably get us to you really quick. I guess she can probably teleport us that far.
Yeah, run you that far, yeah.
Run us that far, however, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay. You're at home, I guess?
I am, and I'm working very hard to figure out what's going on. Everyone seems to be in a bit of a panic at the moment.
Yeah, we kind of are too. So, yeah, we'll just add to that. Okay, all right. We'll see you soon, I guess, then.
All right.
No, hang on. I guess, I don't know. Is that what we want to do? It seemed like a good call to me at the time, but now I'm concerned that every place is, that at least New York City is dark.
Yeah, so
Can Nyx do that?
I straight up.
Yeah, so you went straight up. So now you're up at the ground level up there above the old city of Babylon, the ruins. And you exit out. When you guys got there, in Iraq time, it was probably early morning here. And it's completely dark outside. There is not a single star in the sky. It is completely black. Off in the distance where there's like a small town, off in the distance where you would normally be seeing, the lights of the city, reflecting off the sky. You do see that, but it has a very strange kind of greenish hue to it. Seems very unnatural.
Okay, I'll kind of telepathically to everybody. This is not just New York. The darkness is everywhere.
What do you mean, darkness?
It is as night outside.
Darker than night.
It's darker than the night outside.
How
Is it
come
kind of like when we were in the hospital and that creature made the darkness in the hallway?
Yeah, kind of like that. Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is not natural.
And there's a heaviness to the air.
If this is the result of what happened with Nyx, I feel this must be more than that. she is a powerful entity indeed, but I don't know about this. And also, if this were next, I feel that she would be gloating.
Gilgamesh, do you sense any differences in what's in the world?
I don't have that ability, no.
Does anybody here have that ability?
As you guys are discussing that, you hear footsteps in the hallway. And a beautiful middle-aged Hispanic woman dressed in the same attire as the other Eternals enters the room.
That looks remarkably like Salma Hayek.
Very much like Salma Hayek. And she spots Gilgamesh and she says, "What is going on here?" And Gilgamesh takes her gently by the arm over to the side of the room to try to explain. And after he's had a chance to kind of lay it out for her as best he knows, she responds to him. "Gilgamesh, your time spent with Hercules and the Olympians was a long time ago. Our vow was to never interfere with the progression of the evolution of the mortals of this world. And since it was not a mortal but an eternal being similar to ourselves that requested you to be the protector of this stone, I turned a blind eye and allowed it to happen. But now you are no longer the protector of this stone. With today's actions, you have placed the outcome of destiny in the hands of this poor young woman. IROSHAN has placed the duty of judgment upon me as the leader of the Eternals. But I do not judge you, Gilgamesh. You have always led with your heart." She places her hand on his chest. "And I know you mean well. Perhaps this is the very path that this girl and her companions were meant to be on, and you were just the catalyst to send them along the right path."
Hi, who are you?
"I'm sorry. Hello, children. My name is Ajak, the leader of the Eternals. Gilgamesh has informed me of your dilemma and has revealed that he has told you of our ways. The shards of Nyx's heart are a dangerous thing, and they are yours to bear moving forward. It is a great burden that you carry upon your shoulders, but something tells me that you are more capable than you appear at first glance. If there is one thing I have learned about humanity, it is the persistence of the human spirit. I sense great power in all of you. As Eternals, we have long lived with a credo: with great power comes great responsibility. This responsibility now lies solely upon you, and I sense there is an urgency to follow this path to completion, and the world outside reflects that urgency.
You said something about IROSHAN?
IROSHAN.
IROSHAN?
IROSHAN. That's the celestial that sent the Eternals to Earth. He had revealed that. Gilgamesh revealed that to you in the last session.
Yeah.
Sounds very similar to something else. Yes, I know.
Yes. Well, alrighty then. I feel it's best we get over to Wong and see if he can help us find anything about what's going on with Lilith. Because I don't think these guys are going to help.
The Eternals. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ask. Have you ever seen anything like this before? The way the sky has gone dark.
Nothing like this in the time that we have been present on this plane.
Lilith bolts. She takes off running towards wherever exit, or just away from this group. Takes off full speed running.
I web her.
Just casually.
Oh, I thought you said I love her. I'm like, yeah, that's nice.
No, I web her.
Oh, fuck. As it happens, she starts to cross. Like, I don't want to be a part of whatever fucking LARPing crew you guys are doing right now, but I am out. I'm out. You don't need me. You don't need me at all. You are Uncle. I don't know who you gotten wrapped up in, but this is bonkers.
Do you understand we're doing this for you? You're the reason we're here.
Think
we're trying
you
to
think
save
you're doing it for
you.
me. From what?
From yourself. You are not the same person you were an hour ago.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. Not to us.
That's what you think. Great. That sounds like a you problem.
You were overtaken by a dark entity called Nyx not an hour ago. I was talking to her, not you. And then something happened and you came back. But it's not you, it's someone else. I know you don't remember who the hell I am. But God damn it, we care about you and we want the best for you. And if you don't believe that, then fine.
I don't believe it. Get this gooey stuff off me.
No, you're coming with us.
No.
I'm sorry, Lilith. Sleep.
She goes out, shatters, like, Colin, you probably could take it a little easy on the poor girl.
She's in there.
I never shit.
Gilgamesh walks over to the group and he kind of has his tail between his legs as he does. And he says, I'm sorry I took part in putting you in this position, but as you heard, perhaps I might have overstepped my bounds. I did mean well, and I can see that you have a great camaraderie with the family that you have created here. Build on the love that you have for one another, and you'll never be separated.
I would call it love.
I call him like I see him. This is your family. Go. And if I'm able at any point to offer my help moving forward, you have a friend in the Eternals.
Well,
and you hear Ajax kind of chuckle a little bit in the background.
We kind of lost our mode of quick transportation, pointing towards Lilith. So is there any way you could get us back to New York?
I was gonna say we teleported here, didn't we?
Well, Makari ran you here.
Yeah, here.
But I meant Iraq.
She ran you to Iraq. Yes, from Australia.
but Wong teleported us to.
Wong teleported you to Australia. Yes.
Yes.
Now Wong said that he couldn't sense you because you were in the domo.
Yeah.
But once we're out, we should be okay.
Perhaps out. Yes, you should be all right.
Okay. I guess we get out of here then, and I'll walk over and I'll pick Lilith up and throw her over my shoulder.
At least you didn't drag her.
her
Shows
hair.
the love.
I lovingly throw her over my shoulder, stroke her ass a little bit.
She vomits
Probably.
all down your back, right in your super suit.
Ajax walks with you guys out of
Not my
the
super suit.
Ajax walks with you guys outside of the tunnels. And you all now have come out into this darkness that is pervading the atmosphere. And she looks up at the sky and she says, "This darkness appeared only moments after your battle with Nyx. I saw in my vision that you were here. I also know that your planet is on the verge of a forever night, that the light is in danger of never returning. Machinations are afoot to ensure that this will come to pass. But you must face the dangers that lie ahead for the common good of mankind. Your greatest battle lies ahead of you. Put your faith in each other first, just like Gilgamesh said. But also, do not be afraid to put your trust in a stranger, a guide from a faraway place is in your future. He will lead you to your destiny. I wish you well, children. You do the human race proud."
I am not human.
I'm
Do you know that this is Nyx doing this?
I do not believe so. It is certainly connected to her, looking up at the sky once again.
Mm-hmm. That is.
But I do not believe that she is responsible, no.
That's what I was thinking as well. Thank you for your hospitality and your kind words.
I wish you luck. A portal opens up behind you guys that is sparkling at first, and then it opens up wide, and you see Wong peek his head out, and he's like, "I found you."
Yeah, hi.
Well, come on then.
And Wong.
Ajax, have you met Wong?
Can't say that we've met. Nice outfit. Thank you. You too.
Just with Lilith over my shoulder, walk through the portal.
Yeah, quick introductions. Sorcerer Supreme, Eternals, Sorcerer Supreme.
All right, so you guys have made it now back to New York and in the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yep.
Lilith is passed out still.
Do you have is there a couch or something I can lay her on?
Yeah, come to my study, and then he will take you into the study of the sanctum, which I'll pull you into there.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then there's a little. These are actually couches. They look like tables, but we'll put her on the couch there for you.
Yeah.
And Cuddle Bear jumps on the table, of course.
Oh.
And sits on the Book of Ashanti.
Yeah, if he's trying to read a book, I sit with kind of my paws on the couple of the pages.
So, what trouble have you gotten yourselves into? And we can probably cut to the chase and you can fill him in on everything that has happened thus far. We probably don't have to rehash that. During the process of that discussion, Lilith probably begins to come out of her magic-induced sleep at this point, and you now, Lilith, find yourself in a completely different place than you were before, which
She
probably
and she
freaks
looks
you out
around
again.
and immediately, ah! and starts screaming again.
And both Wong and Druid go sleep.
Stop doing that, guys.
Sorry, it's just instinct. Wong goes over to her and he conducts another little spell and brings her back out of her slumber. This time she is more calm and complacent. You feel like a little bit of euphoria coming out of it, but you're really kind of cool and happy to be here right now. He just gave you a dose of his magic weed.
Magic Valium or something.
Hey, Colin. I know you. Uncle. I know you.
I look at one. Did you drug her?
It's a kitty cat.
A little bit.
Oh, and she starts going like, oh, slowly making her way over to the desk. I see you. I see you.
I will go into phase. I will just go to phase.
And now your hand goes through the cat. Ooh.
No, just
No, freaking out. That's mellow, dude.
Anybody have a lava lamp or something we can?
where are we now? She asked to Dr. Druid.
This is the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Ooh, that sounds so important.
It does.
Mm-mm.
Of the Sorcerer Supreme of this earth.
She leans over and says, and that's you, I bet. To walk.
It is. Now, I've made you calm.
Mm.
I'd like to try something if you're all right.
Sure.
He places his hand on your temples.
She kisses it.
And he conducts a spell. Comes back out of it. His eyes kind of roll back in his head. Your eyes roll back in your head. And then both of you come out of it at the same moment. And he says, "This is not your Lilith."
Told you.
Well, whose Lilith is it?
I believe she comes from an alternate Earth.
All that.
So that means we just released an unsuspecting.
But how could this happen? Well, and also she still has Nyx. It's just the. So what you're saying is her consciousness has been swapped out?
I believe so, yes. This is the body of the Lilith that you know, but the mind is not. I've been able to read her history, and it does not 100% coincide with our own. On her world, Thanos' snap never happened.
Yeah, we figured that out.
There seem to be a lot of similarities between hers and ours, but the history that we know, that we have come to be familiar with, is not the history that resides within her brain.
So what do we do to get her back?
We'll have to find some way to pinpoint her reality. And that may take some doing.
What could have possibly caused such an event?
Magic's potentially more powerful than my own.
You don't think it was our handling of the shards?
It would be quite a coincidence. And in my opinion, with the darkness that we see outside, I would assume it must be connected, especially due to the timing of it.
I mean, what's up with the darkness? I mean, is it just what's causing that? Do you know? Do you have any idea?
Well, I was here in the study when it happened, and it's as though the sun just turned off.
But it's still there, right?
We have
Yes.
not told you that, so
It is still there. I sent my astral form up into the upper atmosphere, and yes, the sun still exists. It's just we here on planet Earth can't see it.
So something's blocking the universe, basically, from us.
is it some sort of illusion?
It's not an illusion. It is darkness. But from the outside looking in, nothing seems to be awry.
Earth looks normal from space.
Yes.
It does seem like that's something that Nyx can do.
You hear a knock at the front door of the Sanctum Sanctorum. Are you expecting anyone?
Are you?
We don't live here.
No, but I seem to be getting a lot of visitors as of late.
Perhaps they just have the longhouse.
Pardon me for a moment. He steps out. Are you guys eavesdropping?
Definitely.
I certainly am.
I'll go invisible and follow him.
All right. So he goes down the big steps leading down to the front door and opens it. And you see a middle-aged man with a mid-length gray goatee, bald head, and glasses standing in the doorway, wearing a black plaid button-down shirt and an Avengers t-shirt. He's doing a very poor job at concealing a katana by his side. And he says, hi, you must be Wong. Is Stephen Strange available? Dr. Strange was unfortunately a victim of the Blip. I am the caretaker of the Sanctorum. How can I help you? We're a little bit busy at the moment. Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay. I take it you must be referring to the darkness out here, right? As odd as this may sound, I may be able to help you with that. If we haven't met before, my name's Christopher Tyner. You might know me as Dreamslayer. I don't believe we've met. Well, that tracks, I suppose. Explains why I can't get this body to do what I need it to. So if you're the caretaker of the Sanctum, then I take it you're the Sorcerer Supreme of this Earth? And he kind of takes his head back just a moment and he's like, I am, yes. Well, then you and I need to talk. Can I come in? And he motions this guy inside. And begins to walk up the steps. And do you guys kind of scramble?
I'm just still invisible, and I'll
All
follow him back up. Climbing a wall, though. I'm not on the floor.
Do you happen to have a one of those character pages of what this guy looks like by chance?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I think
Okay,
we're,
check.
I
Like
think
this.
we're looking at
I
him.
feel like I see him right there.
I got a good middle picture, I think.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying Lilith's going around this area looking at all the knickknacks, artifacts, and just intrigued by, she'll pick it up and look at it or whatever.
Yeah. Wong comes back into the room. He's like, put that down. So Wong and Chris come into the room, and Chris kind of looks around, and he's like, "Are you babysitting?" And he says, "Pretty much, yes. Have a seat."
We are.
We were just discussing the darkness outside. You say you might know something about it? Chris kind of walks back and starts kind of pacing the room a little bit, and he says, "So, Wong, as Sorcerer Supreme, I'm sure you're aware of the multiverse, yes?" And he nods. "Well, something has happened to your world and mine. I come from a different Earth, but I have found myself in this body, my counterpart from this Earth. In my reality, I'm the leader of a team known as IROSHAN." And he begins to transform in front of you. And he looks like this. I pulled him up on your map there for you. And he's dressed in purple and red, and kind of has a little bit of a samurai ninja appearance to him.
All right. Fabulous. Is he doing jazz hands?
Jazz hands. In my reality, I'm the leader of a team known as IROSHAN, investigative researchers of supernatural happenings and nightmares. We actually are associated with the Doctor Strange of our Earth and have a facility sanctioned by him in Chicago called IROSHAN Academy, and several other locations across the United States and in Mexico. In my world, over the years, I've had to deal with a demonic being known as Nightmare, who controlled a large portion of the dream dimension, or the dreaming, as I've come to call it. Nightmare and I finally had it out a while back, and I came out the victor, taking the title of Dream Lord in the aftermath of our confrontation. Something happened on our Earth earlier today, and now I have found myself trapped here on your Earth. Apparently, my counterpart here doesn't possess the same abilities that I do, but since my powers were a part of my psyche, I can access all but one important ability: the ability to physically transverse the dream realm. Obviously, whatever happened on my side has affected your Earth too, and I believe that it has something to do with the dreaming. I've been able to cross over into other realities through the dreaming before, through something that is called dream walking. There's many individuals across the multiverse that have done so, even without the powers I possess, stepping into other lives on other planes while they sleep. I'm sure all of you have had a dream and you're like, boy, that really felt real. That was probably you stepping into the shoes of somebody in another reality, your counterpart in another reality. I could easily do that right now, but that's not going to accomplish what I need to accomplish, which is to physically get back to my world and exchange places with the mind of the Chris from this realm. And I need a Sorcerer Supreme, basically, to help me do that.
Do you know what caused this event?
No, not at all. I woke up here and quickly figured out that things were awry and went looking for the rest of my team, only to discover that the majority of the folks that have powers on my Earth that are part of IROSHAN are just like Chris on this realm. They don't have the powers. And so the next step was to contact Stephen Strange, and here I am talking to you and Wong.
On the wall, you just hear a voice go, "So that's what happened to Lilith."
Who's this guy?
That is Colin.
Come out wherever you are.
Oh, I'm sorry. Turn visible, drop down to the floor. So that's what happened to Lilith.
But how?
I don't know. Did something happen to Nyx cause that?
Who's Lilith?
She is.
Our friend here is suffering a similar occurrence to you. She has now found herself in the body of her counterpart.
Were you asleep?
You sure?
You said you were. You said you were doing rubbings and you fell asleep.
Yeah. Thanks, Colin.
Okay, well, that pretty much cinches it.
Cinches what?
Well, I know something's wrong in the dreaming.
We were also in the midst of a precarious experiment, if you would, that involves a being that possesses powers of the night. This being is also ancient.
It's not Matsumi Kaboshi.
Isn't it?
No. Nyx.
The ancient goddess of darkness.
Yes.
She kind of was inhabiting our version of Lilith.
A portion of her being. We were
Not
in the
all of her.
process of reigniting these ancient artifacts that help keep her imprisoned. We have brought two of them together, and almost immediately after this has occurred.
I remember something like this happening back on Earth before, my Earth. But the Avengers took care of that. And it was Nyx, I think, that was behind that. I wasn't part of that battle. But we went through a time of darkness already once. So I recognize this.
You're saying you know how to turn it around then?
Well, me personally, no. But if it has something to do with the dreaming, we might have a shot at it. But I've got to get back to my team.
That's the catch, stranger.
What is you? So you believe that Nyx, this entity that was inside of your version of Lilith,
Still is,
may have been the catalyst for what has happened here. Is that right?
Something happened. Nyx had taken control of Lilith completely for the first time, and we had made a bargain with Nyx. And we were talking to her, and she was coming to terms with what we needed from her. And all of a sudden, it was almost like some sort of seizure happened. It was almost like Lilith lost control. And whether that was or Nyx lost control, whether that was our Lilith taking control back or the transfer happening, I don't know. But it happened out of the blue. I don't think it was anything that Nyx did intentionally that caused it.
How did she come into contact with this entity?
The amulet around her neck.
Yeah, in our world, that amulet held a part of Nyx. There was 2 other pieces of that shard in the world, and we got one of them, and that's when Nyx took over.
But the other version of Lilith, if what happened to me happened to her, we need to swap them out so that I can get more information out of your Lilith.
Mm-hmm.
We also may be concerned for others that this may have happened to.
Yeah, it may not be an isolated event.
Right. Just really gotta freak people out considering what just happened in our world a few weeks ago.
And I have to say, there's got to be no coincidence that I'm on this side.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm the Dream Lord after all.
So someone wanted you out of the picture while they wreaked havoc on your world.
And somebody probably wanted Lilith on that side.
That makes sense. Do you know of any being capable of pulling people with such ease from one universe to the other?
It would not be out of the realm of possibility for several individuals that I've come across over the years. Nightmare being one of them, but as far as I know, he's dead. Because I killed him. The other one that I mentioned, Amatsu Mikaboshi, could have done this as well, but my team took him out because he was after my realm.
You killed the being Nightmare in your world. Do you sense his presence in ours?
Here's the funny thing about the dreaming. And this is where we have a bit of an advantage and maybe a little bit of a shortcut. As I said, when sleepers go to dream, they all end up in the dreaming, and sometimes they cross over into other realities, other versions of the dreaming, and touch the lives of their alternate selves on other planets, other Earths. So, yes, it is possible to do that through my realm, yes.
So then,
What happens if their existence is gone in the other realm?
If their existence is gone in the other realm, then I would assume that they would cease to exist here if we were able to reverse the process.
So about 3 weeks ago, half of your population did just disappear, I assume? From what Lilith told me?
No, everybody is, I think, where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, because about 3 weeks ago here, half of the world's population disappeared.
it's been more than that. It's been a couple months, right?
Yeah, it's been a couple of months, yeah.
A couple months.
Yeah.
Seems like 3 weeks.
About 2 months ago, yeah.
Okay, so a couple months ago.
Jesus Christ.
No Thanos.
Infinity Stones?
That's what the news is saying.
Yeah, that tracks. But no, he didn't succeed on our Earth.
He did hear.
Yeah, so what if that being of nightmare still exists in this world? If you were not here to stop him.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think that he does. Nightmare existed across realities. He was a single, solitary being.
So there were multiple versions of him.
No,
That you know of.
not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. Hmm.
So what do we do? Do we fall asleep and go to your world?
Well, if you do, and this normally what I would do if I were to take you to the dream realm, I would put you to sleep and your astral forms would travel there with me. But we need to physically be on my earth for me to be able to do what needs to be done and change out my body with my body. And probably the same for Lilith here as well. So I need a tether on this side, which is why I came to see Dr. Strange. But if Wong can tether us to this side, then I should be able to bring you guys over physically into the dream realm and then into my reality. If you want to go.
You can just hone in on it?
I've got a back door.
Oh.
Question.
Yeah.
Is seeing as Nyx is, according to my character sheet and everything, like extra dimensional energy,
Mm-hmm.
like it's just a living dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Is Nyx singular across realities?
I don't know if I can answer that question.
Okay. This is just because Lilith would be like, well, if you're all talking about this Nyx and me, why don't we just send Nyx elsewhere instead of going through all this hullabaloo?
Well, since she's inside of you.
Oh, yes. We did not mention you are bonded with that amulet. You can freely give it away to another blood member of your family. But other than that, the only other way to rid yourself of it is to reunite all three shards, or if you die.
Oh yeah, by the way, you have a brother in this reality. Do you have a brother in yours, Zach?
No.
Yeah, you've got a brother in this reality, and he's not to be trusted.
He is aligned with the god Amun-Ra.
You're kidding, right?
No.
No.
Wait, so you got two members of the same family that are both avatars for gods of chaos?
Excuse me, say what?
Apparently our world's a little bit more fucked up than yours.
If it sounds crazy, it happened.
Just differently, I'm sure.
There's been a lot of crazy shit on my Earth as well.
Yeah, but you still have everybody.
Yeah.
There's that. And
And we really don't want to lose all of your world and all of our world either. That's what we're trying to stop.
right. So what do you guys call yourselves?
We are between names currently.
Yeah, we never really decided on one.
I had been thinking, since we were formerly members of, normal humanity, like normal men, and now we are no longer. We are almost like X-Men.
No, you're not the X-Men.
No, we are all kind of alone out here by ourselves. So I think kind of the orphans.
Orphans.
Lilith
I-
immediately kind of just, and she goes over to her uncle and says, "Give me your cell phone. Give me your phone. Give me your phone."
Sure, here.
I
And,
feel like
she
Who are you
starts-
calling?
and she's calling her father.
This number is no longer in service.
we have.
And she looks through like the phone and says, "Where's my mom's number? Where's my mom's number?" I think it's like probably under like Sweet Tush or something like that. She says, "Where are they?"
It's on this planet, Lilith. Your parents were snapped away by the power of Thanos. They are no longer a part of this world.
That's how you got the amulet.
She just goes back and sits down on the couch.
I kind of go over and sit next to her. Call her.
She's just quietly crying.
If it makes you feel better, that is just on this side. In your world, I'm sure your parents are still alive and well. We just need to get you back to them.
What if all this is going to happen there too? We need to get there to warn them.
He said that they stopped Thanos in your world.
Yes.
They
But
did.
what about this? She kind of holds her pendant.
Apparently, that has nothing to do with Nyx in your world. Otherwise, you would know it.
At least, yeah, that remains to be seen, though.
But if this is with the other me in my world, we need to get there and warn them.
Oh yeah, it's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Okay, so
What do you need from me? She kind of just dries her eyes.
I think what we need is from Wong.
Can you do it, Wong?
put us all to sleep. That should be easy.
No, not
No.
put you to sleep, but
Oh.
transport you to the dream realm.
Oh, like I open a portal.
I can do that. But I certainly will need to remain on this side. And I think perhaps for Lilith's sake, Dr. Druid should remain as well. If you do this, you'll be going it alone. You'll be going with Dreamslayer here.
We've trusted strangers before. Why stop doing it now?
Well, at least this one seems genuine.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I don't know. He looks very shady to me.
Oh, I forgot I was wearing this.
Everybody here is suspect as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Surely not me.
A little part of Colin just died. Hear him whimper.
He crumples up his poem that he wrote.
Exactly.
Throws it away.
See him put a black box back in his pocket.
Well, if you guys are game, I'm willing to take it.
Probably
Seems,
get back.
seems legitimately our only options.
Seems that way.
Yep.
Yeah, but how would we get back? There's a. Oh, well, I guess there's the Doctor Strange on your world,
That's
right?
why we need the tether.
That's what, yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
All right, Wong, do your thing. I wish you luck. And he begins to spin his hand in the air. and
We've
opens
never
up a
needed
portal.
it before.
And you guys take a step into the dreaming.
Before we go, I just want to say, I wish you could come with us, but you can't go long.
And with that horrible pun, we shall call a close. To
And he
this
gets
session.
10 karma taken. He gets 10 karma taken
Taken
away
away.
from him this time. Can't use the same pun twice.
Come on, it was in a different context.
All right, gang. Well, that was fun. So we'll
Yep.
meet again after the first of the year on a completely different Earth.
Yep. All right.
Well, in the dream.
If we don't do a short one before then, everybody have a good holiday.
Yep.
All right, right back
Guys,
at
have
you.
a good one. Bye.
Okay.
Everyone.
Bye.
We'll see you.
Peace out.